Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Monday evening community call. We get together as a Live Younger community every Monday evening for some training, for some updates, for some celebrations. And this evening, we have a special evening because for those of you that don't know, once a week we have a leadership team meeting, and it's for directors and above. So we want you guys on there. So let us know when you become a director. And we had some wonderful input about ideas on what to do for the newsletter and what to do for the call. And so this evening, what we're going to be doing is beginning the Empower series together. Many of us were able to be there live, but some of you have been new since the Empower series happened. And so I'm going to turn things over to our director, Helen Peak, and she's going to explain about the series, and then we're going to pass it on to Michelle, who's going to talk a little bit about a summary of what happened in the first session. And then on Thursday on our chat, we're going to be talking about it. So we invite everyone to participate and re-listen to 8 of the Empower series. And as the email says, the Empower series, let's grow together. So it's time for Helen.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, it's great to be a part of the directors meeting. I have to say it's a highlight of the life because I love co-creating. So somebody had mentioned a book club and we thought that'd be a great idea. And then it occurred to me that there were several of us that wanted to revisit the Empowerment series because it was so good and LifeWave invested in us. You know, it was a big investment. And so now let's invest in ourselves by taking this series again. Some of us made it all the way through. Others, made it part way through. Some of you were brand new and hadn't even heard of it.
Excuse me, Helen, for just a second.
Yeah.
We're having a hard time hearing you. Could you either get closer to the mic or speak up or turn your volume up? Because what you're saying is really important.
Okay. Can you hear me better now? Is that better? Tim, where's the speaker? Can you hear me better, Robin?
Yes.
Okay, Thank you. Yeah, so I was saying, I was so inspired by Phil Jones. He was one of the speakers at the conference, and he wrote the book Exactly What to Say, and that was a gift from our company. So not only did they gift us Phil at the conference, but now they gift a book of his, which really is helpful because it's about the magic words of influence and impact that are so simple. So you'll hear him because that's the talk we're going to listen to tonight would be Phil Jones. So anyways, we decided to be playful about it. And so here's what we're up to. So starting tonight, between now and Thursday, let's go into this empoweredlifewave.com, and the password is a small x39. And then we're going to watch the Phil Jones. Excuse me. I'm so sorry, there's smoke here. We had a window open and it just got to me. So please, I apologize for that. So we're going to be playful and we're going to watch it between now and Thursday. And we can all interact as a group and help each other. Like you notice something that you love about it, or maybe you watched it before and something that it's tried and true. You've already done that. So what we're going to do is interact on our Live Younger Facebook page. Robin will be putting something up and we can all interact there between now and Thursday. And Thursday is our business meeting call in the morning. And we're going to go over it then and have a chat. So then whoever goes to all 8 weeks in a row and interacts, we're going to put the name, and there's an app where there's a wheel, and it spins it, you push the button, so all the names of all the people will be in there, and whoever attends all 8 and interacts will get 1 free sleeve of X39. So doesn't that sound fun? We're pretty excited that, as a team, we can learn from each other. We'll all share what we love best and pick up different hints. But I also want to say this, that when you take it, we'll be looking at communication skills, having the right kind of mindset, developing leadership skills, learning how to tell your story. Lots of good hints on that. And also personal development, which is, if you really want to succeed in this business, the extra benefit you get is personal growth, because you're hanging out with some really bright people. And our company hired the best to teach us. So that's what we're up to. I wanted to add one more thing, which is I noticed that the people who actually listen to the Empower series are doing the best. They're the ones that are making it to, manager on their way to director, director on their way to senior director. So I think education is the key in our industry. And Michelle, I know you watched it and took some great notes that you wanted to share. What were your highlights, Michelle?
Thank you, Helen. Oh my gosh, we have a love affair with Phil Jones. Not only is he cute, but he is wonderful to listen to. He's funny, and he is a master at words. And so I did participate live in the LifeWave Empower series. And I will tell everybody that I listened to Phil Jones, which was May 6th. I listened to it over the weekend and a little bit today. And it was like it was brand new. So I just want to tell everybody, even if you already listened to the Empower series, it will benefit you so much to listen again. Because I don't know what the statistic is, I think you retain like 20% of what you hear. So it's really good idea to repeat. So I took a few notes. And so one of the Phil quotes is, master your words and master your life. He said that when, in these challenging times, when you're reaching out to people, that it's about empathy, curiosity first and empathy second. And to have curiosity, he said a really good lead is if you haven't spoken to someone in a while, you might send them a text and say, I was thinking about you today. Hey, I was thinking about you today. And then would you have time for a call? And then when you do connect with that person, rather than saying, how are you, which should really be reserved for people you have a really close relationship with, a very close friend or your partner, people that you haven't spoken to in a while or more acquaintances, you would say, how are you holding up? It doesn't put people on the spot as much as saying, how are you? I don't know about you guys, but when I hear how are you, I'm like, sometimes I don't know what to say. But if someone says, how are you holding up? These are challenging times and everyone's going through this together. So that's a good icebreaker. So having empathy and then finding out where they're coming from before you move into step 3, which is courage. These are the 3 components of a crucial conversation: curiosity, empathy. And so you're curious, you ask, how are you holding up? And then empathy, when they share, you lean in, you express, we're in a sharing and caring business. So you express care. That someone lost a job, or someone's been sick, or so you lean into that. And only after those 2 components do you move to courage, and that's being able to show up to someone who needs your help. And I'm not going to go into all of the language that because there's a lot. There's this first Empower series night was packed. So I just want to encourage everyone to listen to it. But one of my takeaways was, once you have leaned into them, then they may ask about how are you? And Phil said a great way to start is to say, well, how some people, or how many people, and then you fill in the blank. Like, how some people during these times have lost their jobs, or are maybe looking for another source of income, or how some people right now, because of the stress of these times, maybe one of the people in the partnership has lost their job and they're looking for another opportunity. So saying how some people or many people is a really good opener. Another thing Phil says is the person who's asking the question is the one who's in control of the conversation. So you want to be facile at learning how to ask questions. And don't worry because Phil says the way you get good at this is you practice. And he actually encourages talking to strangers because he says a lot of people say when you get into a network marketing business, you approach your friends. But Phil actually in this presentation, he said, approach strangers because you have less to lose. It's like you're not maybe a total stranger. Maybe it's the shop clerk, or maybe it's someone that you've dealt with in your daily life, someone you do business with. And then you can take a chance and you can express and not be as concerned. But he said, given the choice, he says, I like to ask people, if I could give you good, better, or best, if you could be good tomorrow, better, or best, which would you choose? So I would love to open a chat, but we don't really have time for that. But he said, when he did that, most people in the chat said best. Given the choice, they would want to be their best. And Phil said, actually, it's better if you say you want to be better, because every day you want to get better. The best is like a ceiling. So every day we want to get a little better. And how do you get better? You get better by doing the basics to a high standard consistently. And what are the basics? They are talking about this, talking about the product, sharing your story. As everyone has heard over and over, stories sell and facts tell. So you just practice. You practice and practice and practice. You do the basics. You get on the calls. You ask for support from your upline. You do 3-way calls. You do the basics to a high standard consistently. And one other thing I will share is, he said, I love this. He said, every time you have a conversation with a prospect, write a list of your liked best, your LBs. What did you like best about that interaction with that prospect? And he said the list should be, as long as you can make it, you should just really give yourself some kudos. What did you like best? And then you have your list of NT for next time. What would you do differently next time? Instead of labeling it wrong, like I hated this part, I should have done this better. It's your NTs, your next time. So those were some of the top takeaways that I got from our wonderful Phil Jones from the first empowerment series. So thank you, Helen. Back to you.
Yeah, it was great to see Phil together. I'm glad you got to go to the conference with us too, Michelle. Good summary of what the advice that Phil gives is so powerful, and I think everybody will be happy. And it kind of comes easily once you hear him, or maybe you buy the book. You'll notice that you're starting to use some of his words, like imagine. Imagine all of us together as a team, and we're all doing all the whole course, all the Empower presentations. Yeah, there it is.
How about imagine having all the energy that you need to get through all the tasks of the day and left over. Imagine having money left over at the end of the month to put into some things that you've been wanting to spend money on. Imagine being able to buy organic food. I love that one, Helen. Imagine. So you can just have fun with that. But there are many magic words, and we'll be probably going into those over the next several weeks.
Yeah, and I like the good, better, best, because I have noticed that made a big difference for me, just being able to be better. So again, I hope you all join us. It'll be fun. Someone wins a whole sleeve of X39. We could never be sad about that, right? We look forward to what you're going to say, what you take away. And, so because we saw it, then we re-saw it, and we're like, wow, I don't remember that part. So some of us will catch other things, and we can all be here for each other. So Live Younger Team, this is our fun challenge of what to do next together. Yay. Be empowered. Yay, Lifeway, for being so generous.
Yay, Lifeway.
Robin Mascari, over to you. What are you going to share with us next?
I'm going to share Gregory.
Hi, Gregory.
Yeah, that's great.
Are you going to do the wife wave, Gregory? The wife wave?
Yeah, the wife
hi,
wave.
Robin.
I'm doing the wife wave. She's doing the husband wave right now. She's passing it over to me. But that was beautiful. Helen, Michelle, thank you so much. I'm excited to go back and listen. You just got me all excited again about episode number 1. And Phil Jones, he is a master trainer. The guy's brilliant, and he just has these wonderful catchphrases. So just so everybody knows, there's a click through, but you can just go to empowerlifewave.com, And all of the episodes are there. The password is X39 with a lowercase x. And if you go there, there's a nice little 40-second overview from none other than our Vice President of Marketing, Jim Caldwell, talking about it. So really looking forward to going on this empowered journey together over the next 8 weeks. And if you can join us this Thursday morning, every Monday morning we have a morning chat, and every Thursday morning we have a business chat. And we're going to devote a portion of every Thursday morning business chat for the next 8 weeks to just let people come on that want to share that, wow, I listened to it, I watched it, I took notes, and I tried it, and let me tell you what happened. So look forward to hearing some really good Empower stories starting next Thursday morning, this coming Thursday morning, and carrying it through, into the next 8 weeks. So thank you again, Helen and Michelle.
Thank you, Gregory. It's fun.
Great job. Great job. So a few other things to share real briefly. And let's see, am I sharing my screen? No, I'm not. Okay. Let me do the screen share one more time. And there we go. Okay, a few other things to share. We woke up this morning to a new special. So if you're getting the LifeWave emails, which I hope you are, the corporate emails, product special of the week, increase your focus, peak your energy and stamina, buy 2 X39s and get a free carnosine. And a lot of people saying, well, what does carnosine do? Well, if you really want to know what carnosine does, this week we're having our LifeWave Connect series starting Wednesday evening. And guess who's going to be on there? Our CEO, David Schmidt, and Dr. Joan Norton are going to be talking on how to use and share carnosine. So we're all going to get a carnosine lesson this week. Isn't that exciting? And in the newsletter, either from corporate or in our Live Younger News You Can Use, you can click and highlight and get to the registration page. And so you need to pre-register for these webinars. So I just want to encourage you to do that. And we're all going to learn a lot more reasons why we all want to be using carnosine and have an opportunity to get some for free if you want to stock up a little bit on some X39. This is not in Japan. All the details of the promotion are in your newsletter and will also be in your back office in the promotion section. If you want to order that product, you need to go into your shopping cart or into the product section and choose on promotions. So very excited about that. Now, we've kind of reformatted our weekly schedule because we got some really good feedback from some of our leaders that, God, it was so daunting to see all those calls and new people going on and go, oh my God, if I do all those calls, I won't have any time to do anything else. So we've broken it down into 3 different categories. Calls for distributors, and certainly this Monday evening call, this is not necessarily a guest call, but you can invite a guest. We're not saying don't, but we're just talking company business and stuff. But normally that's the one call. If someone was only going to go to one call, I'd recommend they attend our Monday evening call or the replay, and that'll be posted in YouTube tomorrow morning. And so we got different playlists in our YouTube channel, and one of them is for Monday evening. Now this week we happen to have 2 other corporate calls. On Wednesday, we have the LifeWave Connect with David Schmidt and Dr. Joan. And that's interestingly enough, that's going to be at 2 different times. And you do need to pre-register for that, but it's 11 a.m. Or 6 p.m. Pacific time. And then Thursday, we have, another of the weekly special preferred customer trainings going on. Okay, so these calls are, now the Wednesday that'd be a great call to, the Wednesday call with Dr. Joan and David would be a great call for guests. And it's a great call for us to get further education. We have another category, optional calls for distributors and guests. And, I like to say that the Monday call is optional. Some of us get up Monday morning and like to get together. If we're in the same building, we'd get together and have coffee. So this is kind of like our coffee chat. And on Monday, we talk about products. And then on Thursday, we talk about business. Totally optional. If you want to join us, please do. We try and keep them down to about 20, 25 minutes. but we're sharing stories. Now, starting this week, we're going to share some stories from people who listen to the Empower series. How fun is that going to be? And then there's calls for guests. And these are calls that you can use to spread the good news. As Michelle said, we're in the sharing and caring business. And you can share these calls with your prospects. Monday through Friday, we're doing a Why LifeWave, Why Now 15-minute presentation. If you've sent somebody one of the 3, 4, or 5-minute videos, if you've piqued their interest and they're interested in learning more, you can say, hey, we have a live webinar coming up, at 11 a.m. Pacific or 2 p.m. Eastern every day, Monday through Friday. And whether there's 3 people or 30 people on there, I'm doing a live. It's a very potent PowerPoint presentation. The PowerPoint was primarily developed by the company. It has great graphics. Within it is a 3-minute video for them to watch. And, then I tell them the 3 options of getting started and suggest they get back to the person and invited them there. So Monday through Friday, those are, exposure opportunities or tools to share with your guests. On Tuesday, we have our doctor Zoom that Robin hosts every Tuesday evening. This evening, she's hosting with Dr. Jeff Hubbard. And this is really an introductory call, great for a brand new person, because Robin goes through a little background with the company, background with the product, and then introduces one of our doctors. And this week, again, Dr. Jeff Hubbard, an MD, will be on there to talk about, X39. And every Wednesday, we have the Dr. Nicholas product training, Dr. Nicholas and Dr. Joan product training. So I hope that makes it a little bit more manageable, puts things into perspective. So, we don't want you spending all your time on conference calls with us. We want you spending all your time on prospecting and training calls with your prospects and your team members. So that's the new format for the outline of our weekly calls, which we've incorporated the corporate calls into there. And I do want to just, we've slightly updated the Getting Started Guide. We're on version 1.7. Version 2.0 is in the works, and that'll be launched simultaneous with our upcoming training website. But this is just a great way to get your new people started. You want to get your new folks off to a good start, have them download and print the Getting Started Guide. Have them listen to me doing a 35-minute overview of walking them through. I like to call it a orientation and training, and then schedule a personal planning session with them. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, and that's the 1, 2, 3 of getting a new person started. So we talked a lot about Vibrant Living last week. We talked about the InTouch library being updated and the new comp plan video. We're trying to keep some of these things that are regular, reoccurring in the newsletter, because we have new people joining every week. And this is kind of a resource for people to go to. Once we have our website up, many of these things will be incorporated into the website, so we won't have to be so redundant with the newsletter. So with that being said, I think we're complete. Robin, did you have anything you wanted to share before we say goodnight?
I just want to say what Michelle said and what Gregory said is I'm excited to review Phil Jones. I've been a speaker and trainer for many years, and when he stood up on stage, I was in awe. So for those of you that are reviewing it, enjoy it. For those of you that are new and weren't around, we highly encourage you to really dig in and listen. It could absolutely change your business and your life. It's way beyond business, the kind of value that he offers. And there are 8 in the series, and we're excited to give away patches to the winner.
That's great. Okay, well, thanks again, Helen, Michelle, and everyone for being on here with us, and wishing you the best that life and LifeWave has to offer. And until we meet again, Gregory and Robin up here in Bozeman signing off.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.